the only one in person so far. Most likely. Really? Yeah, I figured I didn't make it this whole time, so I thought, okay, I'll make the last one, if nothing else. I had 2 kids move out and COVID in the time that Ignite happened, so it was quite a crazy month. Yeah. Yeah. So where my cottage is, we have to go by boat to get there. No, it's not that. But so my brother's ex-girlfriend / my dad's friend lives on Upper Lake Hill Road, right? And so Bruce says to me, we're going away this weekend. Can you just like pack my house? If I don't, we're gonna send you to wedding friends. That's right. Yeah. So anyway, dad's like, we just car rolling in the road, like car. Uh-oh. He's gonna have to be. So he's like, oh shit. So then they're like, it's a tough spot. It's like we gotta go over. Too many cars, like the Upper Lake Hill Road. We gotta chat. Like there's too many cars. All right. Okay.
Good. I gotta show you this. So.
You're interrupting here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so he goes over and he's like, okay, Morgan, like, we're shut this in. Like, this is not okay. And so they try to like shut everything down. And then the cops come in because it's like dad's coming. So he runs over to my dad's like, we're just breaking up.
Just finishing up the
That's
meeting.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, okay, so you saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
So from the time you guys were there till I left, that's what I did. I'm opening my store.
That's beautiful. I love it.
I'm just doing a soft open, it's not gonna be super embarrassed. I can't drive down the highway with my window open, I don't have my ass closed on.
I like it.
That's good. Thanks.
Good.
It's coming, it's not that bad, but it's coming.
Beautiful. Thanks. I like your shoes.
Oh, hi. Hi. I have such a big group. Is anyone online?
We have 2 online right now.
I'm just like- How are you doing, Sue? Good. How are you? I'm good. I'm gonna take a chair. I figured there'd be a bigger crowd here today. No, well, Friday and sunny.
I suppose, yeah.
You have to get to know real estate agents. Let me tell you, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be sitting. It's online.
Holly, Sheldon, and Joanne.
Great, great. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good
Can you-
morning. Pretty good.
Good morning. How is everyone doing?
Depends on what you're asking about. Kidding.
You look-
All
Morning,
good.
You looked all sunny with your sunglasses on and happy to be indoors. So, at least it's sunny, Holly.
I know.
I don't know if anyone has seen this. It is going to rain from Sunday to next Sunday.
What?
Every day. Yeah, every day. So tell Patty he's on walking the dog next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know how-
wow.
Slide, this one.
Just point it that way. Either way.
Sounds good. So guys, I'm really bad at doing both sides here. So if I'm not looking at you, I apologize now. And if you have questions, interrupt, okay? Because don't put something in the chat because it's all the way over there and I'm here by myself with that. So let's get started. I'm just going to shut the door. So how did you guys do with the rest of Ignite?
It was great. Liked it.
Good,
Loved it.
perfect. It is.
Lots of interaction. It was good.
I really like the fact that they've changed it up. And it's more set for what we're going to talk about a little bit today is a lot on the mindset side. Because the one thing that is so true about about real estate is if you do A, B, and C, you will achieve X, Y, Z. Okay. And the more you do your ABCs, the more XYZ is coming back to you, one, more constantly and in a bigger way. More money, if that makes sense. Okay. So it is something that a lot of people don't get. Some people say, you know, I am here and I am doing what works for me. And it's kind of like, okay, how is it working for you? And results, so doing your ABCs always will result in a result, okay? Often you can actually go back and see that for these 3 weeks, I really sort of backed off, okay? Or you got super busy doing something else. And what happens when you do that, all of a sudden you're not doing your ABCs because, hey, I'm busy, I'm running, you're doing busy activities. Like it could be showing houses and it can do all kinds of stuff, but you can actually track this. One of the coaches I used to have this great sheet that it was like, this is what I did every day. So it could be sending cards, it could be knocking on doors, which that wasn't what I was doing. I can't do knocking on doors, but working with open houses. And what's nice, it's the first company I have been with in 30 years that taught me you have 19 different ways to do lead gen. 19. Get really good at 3. Okay, do it and do it well. That is the prescription to doing extremely well in real estate. Okay, but what happens? You get to Christmas. So maybe the second week of December, you sort of go into Christmas mode after the Christmas party, and then you really don't get started again in January. But you can actually track. So if you have a calendar, put it on your fridge and put X's on days that you don't actually do your ABCs or your lead gen and stuff like that. And I can guarantee you, if you go over 3 months from then, your income is coming down. That's what we call the roller coaster. Okay, so you're new, you're getting right into it, you're doing everything the way you're supposed to, and automatically, because you're doing it, your income goes up and your busyness and your effectiveness in the business goes up. But what happens is you're getting busy. So you forget to do all of this stuff you were doing on the way up that hill. Okay, you get to the top of the hill, everything's great, and then you go, okay, I have to start doing it. But it's not a situation where I work today and lead gen today, and then the money is coming and the closings are there the next day. Those closings are on average 3 months out. So you get soup, you know how to lead gen, you know how to do it, you're doing really well, you got yourself to the top of that mountain. And then you start moving down. And that's when you say, oh, I guess I better do my ABCs and I better lead gen. So you're coming down, you're working hard, and what happens is you start going right back up. 90% of the agents will stop working when they start getting busy. So putting a mindset that all I have to do is a little bit of this every day. And then you're going to bring yourself to the top and you're just going to coast across the top. Now, isn't that easier than having the really good months and then not a good month and then a good month and then not a good month? So your consistency will show you how consistent you're going to be. Okay. Okay, so what today is basically going over what you've learned in this course. Okay, and what you're going to find is everything you've learned is really not difficult to put into action. But again, the biggest thing is that you've got to put it into action, okay? What we're going to do is plan for your future, okay? I can guarantee you, everybody in here, you've done your goal setting during the course, right? Double it, because that is actually what you can do if you stay consistent, okay? There's only a difference. A lot of people, when I'm hiring people in, they'll say, how much should I make when in my first year? And the answer is, that's 100% up to you. I could have a new agent that has one deal in their first year. Our rookie of the year last year made almost $300,000 in their first full year, okay? People will ask, well, what will I do? I have absolutely no idea, because it's all going to come down to what you do for your business and your mindset. Because if you get up in the morning and say, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to do this today, you're going to have issues trying to get your big rocks into your jar, okay? I can tell you your mindset, one of the best things to change your mindset, and I keep looking over there and I apologize, I that video. You all should have came in. When you're putting those big rocks in, it's shocking how good you will feel and your mindset will change dramatically. So one of the things I do is my big rocks go in between 9 and 10 in the morning. Okay. My whole day goes so much better when I don't blow off my big rocks in the morning. Okay. We're going to ask questions and please be interactive and speak. Okay, guys, you're all unmuted. You're all muted, so you can't speak if you're muted. So make sure you unmute if you need me, okay? Everyone knows that you've learned all kinds of stuff. It feels like a big hose, unfortunately. But that hose is now going to guide you wherever you want to go, okay? So you have your lead gen. I'm sure you're tired of hearing those two words, okay? But lead gen is going to affect what you do in real estate from today right through to the end of your career. Lead gen will start getting easier and easier and easier and easier as you move through your business, because all you're doing at the beginning is you're setting up those big rocks. The big rocks that are already here, and big rocks that you've cultivated and big rocks that you have built relationships with, they are there for you to make your business easier and easier. We call that the sphere of influence. Anyone that doesn't work their sphere of influence, you're getting rid of the easiest way to lead gen. That's when your phone will start ringing instead of you having to reach out to them. Okay? I'm skipping through the front because I really want to get to the other stuff. Okay, you will be, we would like some feedback at the end of this. What I'd love for you to do, because the course is new, this has gone from an 8-week session to a 20-week session. And we've had ups and downs with it. It's a brand new course. We find the material is so much better than the old one. We're just trying a lot to figure out how is the best way to get it out to our agents. Okay, so you will do that as well. This quote, would anyone like to read it, or do you want me to? Hands up. Anybody? No, of course not. Okay, how you think matters, how you think in the beginning really matters, okay? Really put into your mindset that you can do this, okay? I have seen people, and you will meet people that have massive businesses, and honestly, you sort of are going to ask the question, how did they do that? So think about, like, I'm sitting here with fabulous, fabulous people who all know how to create relationships with people. All you have to do is keep on saying, I can do this, okay? Just don't ever doubt the fact that you can do it. If I was sitting here with people that I didn't think could do it, I wouldn't even be saying that. I know everyone that's sitting here, and I know you can do it at an extremely, extremely high level. And Holly has, right, Holly? And Joanne has too. So that's super. Super. And all it is keeping consistent and moving forward, okay? Who here doubts themselves?
I think we all do every once in a while, for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Everybody does, but it
Yeah.
just depends on how often you do that, I'd say.
And it's also the voice that's talking to the person that's doubting themselves, okay?
That's it, yeah.
That's where you can then say, no, I can do this, okay? Some people have been in this longer, you're newer. I think everyone else has been in it at least a year, at least 2 years. David, how long have you been in? 3 years now?
Yeah, just over 3 now for me.
Yeah, excellent. And Joanne, you've been in a while too. The fact that you're here is fabulous. It amazes me how agents that are in the business don't continue training. It is super important. And the fact that you're here, bravo to you. Okay. Who here in their first, Holly, you've been in what, 8 years now, 9 years?
10. Oh, just
10.
in my 11th.
Okay, wow, that's gone really fast.
I know.
Who here has not wanted to quit real estate?
Me?
Anybody?
Not
You've
one.
never wanted to quit?
No.
Not once.
Uh,
That's excellent. That's because of your mindset.
That's because of what?
That's because of your mindset. You're always ready to
Have I-
go.
Have I been frustrated? Have I been mad?
yeah.
Have I been tired? Have I been weary? Have I thought, oh my God, but never once did I ever think, okay, this is not for me.
Okay, yeah, well, you're super good at it, and you are the perfect fit for real estate. And the day that you can figure out that I love doing this is the day you'll never work again. Do not panic if you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore, because you're working with a public that there are so many different personalities. I always say to new agents, you guys are past this, there's a possibility you'll want to quit 5 times in the first year. Okay, you get over it. And then it's only 4 times a year. Then it's only 2 times a year. And then you'll have one client in 1 year that is just everybody here knows Chad. Pretty easygoing, positive. He quits once a year. It's usually in February. It's like, really? Look, there's nothing coming in this month. Yeah, but when you get to July, you'll have 10 closings. So stop worrying about it. I can tell you every year, he's like, oh, I'm not sure this business is for me. So if, depending on the mindset you have, Holly has a fantastic mindset, just get rid of these problems and then everything's fantastic again. So that is the issue. The one nice thing about KW is we have so much support for you. Okay, so you have your whole broker team who can help you with the day-to-day businesses. Okay, you also have your whole ALC that can help you with mindset. Okay, all leadership can help you with mindset. So if you're struggling with something, don't struggle by yourself. Come in and talk to somebody. Okay, because there's nobody in here that has not had an issue with mindset. Maybe just you, Holly. So that's excellent. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I just, have never
No,
wanted to.
you have you're really good at turning things around, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
What do you guys think about that quote?
Can you read it again? Because we can't see it on the screen. If you think we can, we can't.
My fault?
It's okay. There you go.
I went past it. Okay, if I don't move things and I keep talking, scream at me too. Maybe I should stand up so I can see all three levels. Okay, so what do you think of this quote?
I think maybe it's saying that, excuse me, well, obviously how you think matters, but how you think in the beginning really matters. So how you think you're going to do this job. How do you, if you want to quit in the first month, then, you can't. So, how you think in the beginning is how you're going to do your business. That's what I'm thinking. For me, that's what it means. It might mean something different for somebody else.
And at the beginning, you're getting so much information thrown at you. But if every day you can just sit down and say, hey, I'm doing well bringing all this in. Okay, I'm doing really well getting into training. I'm doing really well with my lead gen. Talk to yourself and tell yourself how you're doing well. Does anyone here do affirmations?
No, I talk to myself, but it's not.
That is an affirmation. If you're telling yourself something good, that's an affirmation. And some people have to write it down. I have to write it down. I had huge problems with affirmations at the beginning because I was writing affirmations down wrong. I would write down things like, I want to do this, or I have to do this, or I should do this. An affirmation has nothing except exactly what you're going to do. So if you affirm, I am going to, say on Sunday night, you write down some affirmations for the week. You say, I am going to lead gen every day. Okay, there's not a should, or there's not a I could, or I want to. I am going to do this. I am going to change my mindset when I don't have a good mindset. And that alone will make your day so much better. Okay, I will change my mindset. You will be talking to someone on the phone. You may have to go for a walk. Can't get a more beautiful place to walk than our office. So, you're dealing with a client. You may have to take 10 minutes and just clear your head. If that has put something into your head that's not being beneficial for your mindset. Okay, and you will have struggles. You will have clients that are more difficult. Like I always say, you have got to the point in your business where you have succeeded the day you're able to say, I think you'd be better with another realtor. Because if you've got people that are changing your mindset constantly, let's be honest, at the beginning, that's really tough to do. Because it's like, okay, you're a client, you are actually going to bring bread and butter into my family, right? So you do deal with a little bit more. But at the end, get a referral. If someone is really playing havoc with the way you're thinking, be able to get to the point. If you have, and this is one of the things that a lot of people say, oh, I'm struggling, I don't have any closings coming, I don't have this, I don't have that. Always ask the question to yourself, if I had 10 pendings next month, how would I be feeling right now after talking to that person that sucked the good right out of me? There's very little in real estate that cannot be improved or fixed with having 10 listings. So that's the mindset. No problem, that's over, go out and keep working with a good mindset, okay? Think about it. Every issue you have, so things are going, a struggle at home. Would this be a struggle if I had 10 closings next month? Probably not, okay? Your kids are whining about not doing something. Would they be whining if they were actually just doing it? If I was taking them on a vacation? How does all that stuff get fixed? That stuff gets fixed by keeping your head down, staying consistent, doing the deals, and so much gets fixed. I always say, we're not money driven. Chad and I are not money driven whatsoever. The result is money. My daughter, who is a doctor, who is in her late 20s, has huge amounts of money coming in. And she is very much, money doesn't solve everything, Mom. Nope, what money gives you is a choice. So when you're living a life of abundance, which usually means there's good money coming in, every day when you wake up, you can, whatever you want to make a choice about. If you have the money to make the choice, you're living a life of abundance. And that's a life of abundance is different for absolutely everybody. But let's say you say, I want to give $5,000 to this specific charity. Living a life of abundance is, I can do that today, right? That's what money gives you. That's what the result of working hard in real estate gives everybody. This is a job where you can actually write your own paycheck, okay? And it goes right back to how well am I doing my ABCs? Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, my daughter got all, we're sending her, she's going to Gary Keller's Quantum Leap. But she was not happy with it because I said it's learning to live a life of abundance. And it has absolutely nothing about how much money you're making. It's about making a choice. I want to do this today. Can I do it? I want to take, one of mine is, like, we have 4 kids that are all, one is 18, so he's not totally launched yet, but he's in the position where he's moving forward. We, or I and Chad, maybe because I want to, we take the kids away once a year. Okay, which is not cheap when you're taking 10 people away, but that's one of my choices. And I want to be able to do that, but that also means that I have to work and I have to put my ABCs together. Okay, it will, whatever you're doing, the effort and the time and the quality of work you do will dictate exactly your income. So you don't even have to worry about the money side of it. That's why you'll see a lot of times when you are doing your goal setting, did you do it with your why? Does everyone have their why?
Mine changes constantly.
Yeah, most people's do. You have a why?
Sort of.
Sort of. That's one of the things. I have not goal set with money in probably 15 years. Okay, and believe it or not, I wasn't at this company, but I was reading the MREA. And it basically says, make it a material thing. And that could be a trip with your family. It could be, like Chad's why right now is I need to set up my life that I have nights and weekends off to spend. We're empty nesters. We have never been empty nesters. We have never done things without children. So it's a big change for us, but we want to be able to do that. So Chad's why is I want more of a life with family. So he doesn't work nights or weekends anymore, which is hard to do in real estate, but he has set it up. That was his why. I know what the picture looked like. It was him and the kids and myself. And it was being able to do whatever we want to do when we want to do it and have those strategies in place. Okay, so it has nothing to do, obviously, that's going to take more money. But the money comes because you set your life up and you set your business up for it to come. What do you think is more achievable? A board that has everything you want, your big whys in life. Okay, it's usually the top one, I would say it with 90% is family. And then it sort of branches out from there. How are you going to feel when you reach the goals for your whys? Okay, I guarantee you it's very different. That why has a price tag on it. There is a number there, but you don't have to focus on the number. You just have to focus on your whys. Why you want to do it, it's something that you can hold on to, not a number. So this may need $200,000 a year to achieve, okay? But trying to achieve your whys will be much easier than trying to achieve based on, I want to make 200,000, okay? The best example I have of this are the Murphys. Anyone here want their life? They put together their business that they can travel once a month. And often they make more money when they're traveling. Okay, so it's something that is their why. They enjoy traveling. They enjoy seeing the world. That they put into their why, and they move to start achieving that. Okay, that can be health. Maybe it is like even health. If you need to get to a gym to do that, it's going to have a money value with it. But just knowing that you want to be healthier, you want to be thinner, you want to be this, you want to be that. Took me years. If I could get all the money back from Weight Watchers that I wasted, that would be it. A few years ago, my why paper had healthy and get rid of the weight. It cost. And I did have to make that commitment and make that investment. But just saying that's what I wanted to achieve, the money came to make that happen. Okay. And if you have 10 closings next month, basically every choice you want to make can be made. Okay. Make sense?
Yes.
Not. I know most are trying to figure out the who here sometimes has issues with mindset? My hand goes up first. Chad calls them Laura's whiny days. Okay, and that's all it is instead of I'm whining to him because he listens. So then actually I've asked him to say, how you doing today? Just to hit my head and say, you're right, sorry, let's look at this in a positive manner with a solution. Our ALC, that's one of the main rules that we have is they bring issues because we have agents that are struggling in different things. So they bring the issues to our ALC meeting, but they are asked to bring the issue and try to bring a solution at the exact same time. Okay, and that immediately changes the dynamic and the mindset in the room. Okay. How do you take action to have a good and successful day? What in the morning would set you up to have that kind of day?
I would say a good mindset. I'm going to do this today. And if
Yes.
I can't, or if something happens that prevents me from doing what I think I want to do, then I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm just going to say, okay, well, life happens. But Laura, back to what you were saying when Laura whining days, I think that all of us as human beings, we all need to have that rant or that whatever. And I know when I do, whether it's I'm walking the dog and I'm talking to myself or, you know, say something to Patty or whatever, it kind of, it's almost like a release, like you need to say those words out loud. But the important thing is get back at it. Say, okay, I've gotten rid of that and now I'm good.
Yeah, and it's just a cue from chat that I get that tells me, okay, I know what the issue is. And I'm like that. I have to verbally tell you what I think. But with him, he turns it for me. And we talked about how he could help me with this. And then I go into solution mode. Okay. And let me tell you, when you figure out the solution, your mindset improves completely. Okay. With me, I beat myself up if I don't get what I need to get done during that day. Guaranteed. Those big rocks, I'm going to have a bad evening if I didn't get my rocks completed during the day. Okay, that's just me. Other people, like Chad, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm good, not too much. His mindset is excellent when it comes to stuff like that. But for me, I know what will make me feel good for the entire day. So that's why I do things like that first thing in the morning. Okay, I get rid of those emails I do not want to do, often even before I get out of bed. I'll open it, I'll go through, even if I did not get to an email that was going to be a harder email to deal with it, I deal with everything that I didn't deal with the day before, and that probably kept me up during the night thinking about it. And I have got up when I'm laying there and the brain's going like this, I'm kind of thinking, I'm just going to do it. So I get up, I deal with what I have to deal with, I sleep much better, and in the morning I start with a better mindset. Or there's nights that, you know, it's okay, that didn't work out the way I wanted to this time. The next morning, I'm just going to move forward and I'm going to get it done first thing. It's off your plate. You don't have to worry about it for the whole day. And I know for myself, it's like, okay, I'm ready. I've dealt with everything I need to deal with. Okay. It's a lot better than worrying about it. Those things you don't want to do or you are worried about doing it, do not leave those to the end of the day, because all day long they're in your head and you're worrying about them all day long. Get up,
That is so true.
deal with it. So you may as well deal with it at the beginning, get it over with, and change your mindset. Okay.
I'm so glad other people read their emails while they're still in bed.
And usually I wake Chad up. He goes to get a cup of coffee and he'll bring me a tea. So I never had that for 30 some odd years because I was getting up with children. So, okay. Okay, has everybody seen this, or did you go over it before at all with your, with Ignite? Okay, this is the way we live in KW. This is why we know that our culture is hard at work. We have a lot of like-minded people in our world. They call it the Y4C2Ts. So I'll just go through it quickly. So the W is win-win or no deal. Okay. You know, when you've dealt with an agent that is not the case. They're going to win at all costs and they don't care what happens to you. Let me tell you, every deal will go better if it's a win-win type situation. And oftentimes you have to take the high road and say, you know what, I am going to do the win-win and we're going to work together. Okay. Integrity, do the right thing. Okay. If you're not sure that you should be doing something and you're worried about it, don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay. I just say you always take the high road. Okay, you're going to feel so much better and your business is going to really improve because of it, because that is something people see. Okay, customers always come first. Okay, commitment, when you make a commitment and do it with all things, keep your commitments. Okay, communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Okay, when you have ideas, I now have a book, because has anyone here realized that we have so many resources? I don't know if anyone has got on to Connect when you finally relax at night and you're there for a few hours and all these ideas are flowing in. And then 2 days later, you can tell I'm talking from experience. I go back to try to find it and I can't. I have a book that actually says new ideas or great ideas. And when I'm in a course and it's not in my regular agenda, it's actually a book of ideas. So when I go to training, when I am just fooling around on university, all of that stuff, I have that book beside me and I just write down notes. And then when I need that positive lift and I want some ideas, I can go back to the things that I already knew I liked the idea, right? And that's being creative. I put little pictures. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I laughed when I went back to it. I put in something about working with our agents and making sure our agents are all okay. And when I went back, I thought, oh, Laura, that was a bad drawing. But when I got back, I knew exactly what it was that we would like to start implementing, okay? Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. COVID has been really hard for this. Has anyone found, even though we're past all of this, that they're still in quasi-COVID mode? Getting in, talking to people, seeing people, having those conversations will actually get you past all of that. So we are really putting a push on to get the people to come into the office. And I'm speaking to the 3 on my little screen over there. Okay.
I hear you.
Trust starts with honesty. Okay. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember the lies, right? It's so easy to do your business because you know exactly what you said because it was the truth. The only person or people that are going to have trouble with that are people who are not telling the truth. Then you have to try to keep those lies straight. So working with your clients, if you know, you just tell them exactly the way it is and don't try to fluff things up or downgrade things, you're going to be fine with your next conversation because they remember every word you said. Okay. Equity. This is a new one. Okay. So we didn't need actually, that's why it's T's now. Equity is something that we take very seriously in our office. KW on the big world take it extremely serious. Okay. Basically what we want to do is to give our offices a safe, happy environment for every one of our agents. So when we don't have that, we deal with it. I love this because when I first got here and you see the things that say God, family, then business, I was, especially since head office is deep in the Bible Belt, I kind of went, okay, it's not that. And if you see some of the stuff that head office does, like we had an inspirational breakfast at family reunion. There were 19 blessings, including people who are atheists. So when we say like faith, family, then business, it's whatever is important in your world. It could be the gym. It could be your health. It could be whatever is important. That comes first. The business allows you to create that world for you. Okay? Don't flip it on its head. My business is important so that I have this, and this. You have your whys, which is faith, usually faith and family. So whatever is important to you and family. Okay, that usually comes up with everybody. I've had people like, my health. I'm from a family that has had poor health. So that's one of the biggest things for them. But whatever that is, that comes first. With the equity, I love this because you guys might have been here when it first happened, but during the Black Lives Matters in the States, and remember where our head office is, directly in Austin, and all of that sort of came out from there. I can't honestly say I ever really thought about how important it was to them until I seen something. The biggest and most successful team in KW is out of California. They put something on their Facebook that went totally against the equity idea in our world. And they were gone from our company in 20 minutes by Gary Keller himself. Okay, that's where this started coming up. Okay, we're
Wait,
not.
Can
Sorry,
you
go
say
ahead.
that again? What do you mean?
Okay, so there was during the Black Lives Matter issues in the States, well,
Right.
all over the world, one of the KW strongest team, like I think they made close to $6 million a year, massive, successful team, put something on Facebook. Someone
Oh,
made
that went against the belief of,
Went
okay.
beliefs, went against the beliefs of everybody matters, right?
Oh,
And they were gone in 20 minutes.
wow.
So he showed a fabulous, fabulous company's idealism, basically. It was so nice to see. And it was that day that E started its process. So how things get changed in KW is not easy. Most companies, Gary would have said, I want an E, and an E would have showed up. He doesn't run this company like that. So what happened with this is it went to the ALC in every market center around the world. They voted on it. How they vote on it, they go to their committee meetings, they talk about it, the committee meeting votes, the ALC brings it to me. Okay, we vote. Then we have a regional ALC member that is in all of Canada. So Canada voted on what they thought about this. Then a Canadian regional rep for the ALC went to head office ALC and they voted there. Our company with 200,000 agents had a unanimous vote for putting equity into our building, into our company. Equity for us means everybody is welcome. It doesn't matter who they are. Everybody. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, where you're from. It matters in the least. You are welcome at KW. And I now have a fantastic way of feeling about the company that I work for, because I have never seen something as impressive as that, how fast that worked and how fast they changed everything. Now, in saying that, not everybody has the E in their walls yet because you have to pay for it. So it's like, oh, we just bought that one. So, but it is there, okay? So, and then success results through people, okay? And that's basically, everybody is here to help you. Never feel that you cannot just go out and ask somebody for help, okay? That's what they're here for. And that includes our ALC. Anytime you're anywhere in the office or you want to reach out to an ALC member, they are the leadership of this office as well, okay? Okay, you have your value proposition. Did everyone work on them here?
Yeah, I think we did in the beginning, yeah.
Okay, now, does it really, if you go back and look at it, you can do this tonight, go back and look at it and see if it really truly reflects who you are. Okay, because probably this course has pulled out other things about you. Okay, and see if those are lining up. Okay. Would you be happy? And this is where you sort of can figure out if your value proposition fits you and you are standing behind it. Are you ready or confident to tell every one of your clients your value proposition? That's a way to know if it's a good value proposition for you. Okay, are you doing it? You can put fluff on pieces of paper, but are you confident in telling all of your clients exactly what it is? So read it over again and figure out if that's something that you feel comfortable with. Okay. Okay. This is something, and I laugh because I think Canadians are actually even worse at this than most. Every course that I've taken, and I have to do my goal setting or my whys or whatever it is, they basically look at me and say, double it. Okay? And if you need someone to tell you to double it, come and talk to one of us and show us what you're thinking. Because I guarantee you, everybody in here goal or their big life is not as big as it can be for yourself. Okay? KW over the years will help you actually see that. And as soon as you start feeling it, then all of a sudden it's like, okay. Gary Keller teaches something called wealth building. And they're actually starting one at night now, and it's all free. But it's how to live the biggest life you can, okay? And basically it comes down to making your money work for you. But everyone always thinks small. I think they did a really cool, not an experiment, but they did like they looked into people that have got to where they really wanted to go and at a very high level. Do you know not one of those people took any more than 5 years to get there? So if you think of a goal, you can get to that goal within 5 years, but think big, okay? Chad and I have felt this since we got to KW, to be honest with you, because we were those agents that struggled. We had good times, we had bad times, raising 4 kids. It was just, we had no retirement. Our plan for retirement was we are going to retire when we die. Sounded like a good plan, didn't you think? KW can change that for you, okay? Who here has started working on their 4 income streams with KW? You just started, so it's not there yet. Okay, everyone's working with buyers and sellers, first income stream, right? Second income stream, referral app. Okay, we have 2 apps, and I'm not even going to ask because I can be sure that people are not using these at the highest level. So you have your referral app, which has a network of 200,000 people on it. Seems like a pretty good network. You also have your consumer app. These 2 apps work very well together, okay? This weekend, sit down in front of Netflix and send your personal consumer app to everybody in your phone, okay? And I know I'm going to get people saying, I don't even know who everyone is in the phone. I don't know who here is on Viewpoint.
We're not allowed to say.
I'm going to for you, most of you are on Viewpoint, okay? Do you know the owner of Viewpoint? No, it's a good program. You're using it because it's a good program. He never said, use my program. You have the exact same program in command. You can send the link to everybody you know. I know everyone's looking at me going, okay, half the people in my phone, I used to live in Vancouver. Half the people in the phone are from Vancouver. Okay, they start using your app. It's not like Viewpoint. It's not company centric. So when someone wants some information or wants to see a house, it does not come to KW like it goes to Viewpoint. Viewpoint gets the lead. They send it out to their agents or sell them to their agents. With you, your app is 100% your own. Okay, anybody wants information, anybody wants, I'll get it, to see a property, you're getting a text that says, hey, I'd like to see this property. Okay, I sent this app to someone in Vancouver. What am I going to do when I get that text that says, I want to see this property? And this happened to me. I had an agent that, a client that lived very close to me. She was on my app. I don't even sell anymore. And I got a text from her saying, can you show me this property? I thought, I've only been out of the business for 5 years and I have no idea where that condo is. That's not good. Never heard of the street. I'm looking at it. It's a phone chat. Hey, where is this? It was Laura, it's in Florida. Okay, she was using my app because unlike Viewpoint, our app works anywhere in the world that there's an MLS. She said, yeah, I'm in Clearwater. I'm standing in front of a condo court that the girl at the open house is not here today. She says, is there any way I can see this condo? I called the closest office. I didn't even do it on our referral app and said, hey, is anyone there that can show a condo at this address? The guy that answered the phone said, sure, I'll run down and do it. Ran down. 2 hours later, I got a call from my client who's been a client for years and years. Our kids went to school together. And she says, Laura, I bought a condo on Clearwater Beach. About 2 weeks after that, it closed. 3 weeks after that, I got a check for $4,000. That is your second income. That is your referral app, okay? You have business going anywhere or coming in, use the app. Go onto the map, open it up and say, okay, I have someone that wants to buy a house in Toronto. Send out the referral. The highest paid referral agent, in Keller Williams. How much would you think he made just in referrals last year? Take a wild stab.
300,000.
Okay, higher,
Oh my God. 500,
higher,
$1 million.
lower, $800-ish thousand.
Wow.
Can I tell you a story? He's been a real estate agent for almost 10 years. Before he had his major car accident, he averagely did 50, 60 a year. Okay, he made 850. Why? He is now quadriplegic. He sits at his computer. He puts on Facebook ads that say, I'm a transition specialist. I can move you across the city, across the state, or across the world. Reach out. He put together this really nice transition, how do you move things, put together a nice package. And all he does is he refers to that agent where they're selling and that agent where they're buying. And he made $850,000 last year, all through Command. Okay, can you make this little bit a part of your business? Oh yeah. Okay, because when someone has to move, they usually don't know what they're doing, right? And think about your app. You've got people all over the place in your telephone. Make sure they're using your app. Tell them to share it with all their family. It's a little creepy. You can watch what they're doing. It's also got AI in it, so it will send out suggestions. You're not doing anything. They're just saying, hey, you've looked at 50 different condos that are 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So when something's listed, the AI in your app will actually send out that new listing as well, which makes you look like a hero, right? So that's your second income, guys. Anyone want an extra 800? Not that anyone else, most people are not doing that, but if it brings you in another $20,000 a year, it's pretty good. Because all you're doing is either making a phone call or contacting them through the app. Okay. Plus, the app is lovely because when you send the referral, you have their name, their phone number, and probably their address where they work. Okay, or email. No one's been here long enough. Maybe Holly, this might have happened to you because it definitely has happened to me. You have a friend in Montreal that's selling a house and you say, oh, I have a great agent there for you. I will send you their contact information. So they're looking, they call you to say, hey, Laura, I just bought a house. The agent was fantastic. Thanks so much. I can't find the piece of paper with the agent's name on it that I called. Am I going to ask my friend, oh, by the way, who was that I sent it to? You two? I didn't get paid. Okay, the app follows everything you're doing. Okay. Any questions about your second income stream? No. Third income stream. Anyone have an idea what it is?
Profit share? Or is that number
Not
4?
four, but we'll get to that. So Sherry got it. It's investing in real estate. If you ask any of the richest people in the world how they made their money, Warren Buffett will tell you himself. Gary Keller, who's worth $700 million, will tell you, invest in real estate. He has a t-shirt that says buy dirt. Okay, he bought, everyone in Austin thought he was absolutely crazy about 30 years ago. He bought farmland just outside of Austin for something like $1,000 an acre. But he bought a lot, and it was at the time really expensive, so people thought he was nuts. He is now selling that land, and it's worth approximately a $10,000 lot is worth about $350,000. And he has 700 acres. Buy dirt, okay? KW Select helps you with this. You get 2 free deals a year before you cap. So you can buy investment properties, you can do flips, you can buy your own personal properties, you can sell personal properties or investment properties. So you get 2 free deals, which means 100% of your commission goes directly into your equity in that property. Okay, so right away, you should have 22.5% of extra equity in that purchase or that sale. Okay. The second thing is think about our compensation package. As soon as you cap, how many investment properties can you buy at 100%?
None.
None.
All of them.
As many as you want, Holly, and you're going to make 100% of your commission.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you said before you cap, you have 2 freebies, but of course, after you cap, it's free anyway.
As many as you want. There's a young guy, and he now owns, within about 5 years, he now owns his own company, KW company in Vaughan. He stood up in front of all kinds of high-producing Canadian agents when he was in year 2, I think. And he said, I'm putting it out there because if I say it out loud, it'll happen. I am going to have 175 doors. So that means 175 investment properties by the end of my 2nd year. He got up the year later and said he failed. He only had 142 doors.
Oh my gosh. Talk about failing forward.
Yeah. Okay. And he was able to put all of that commission. He taught here. He has 300 investment doors now. Okay. And he has his own investment company. He has his own management company, and he's been in the business 5 years. He was teaching. I don't remember what he taught though. He taught here. Yeah. Sandy, great guy, owns Vaughan now. Okay. 4th income stream, profit share. Who is getting profit share in this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is not something not to think about. Okay. We are number 1 in Canada for profit share. You need a piece of that. We are number 16 in the world, which means we're in the top 1% for profit sharing. Okay. I now have all kinds of agents from across Canada and across the States who are recruiting in Nova Scotia. My agents are not taking advantage of this. If you're talking to an agent, build a relationship. Not one person here cannot go for coffee and just talk to people. And I guarantee you at one point, it's going to come down to, I hate this at my office. And all you're going to say is, this is why I like KW. And you're going to say, you should find out more about KW to see if it's going to help your business. There's no obligation. Is it okay if I have Laura call you? I work with them until they're on your tree. Okay. I'm in a group with the highest of recruiting people in Canada. And there's a new recruiter that he's blowing everybody out of the water. Like I do in between 7, 8, 9, or 10 every month. And he did 16 last month. So we were asking, how'd you do it? 14 of them were referrals from agents in his office. And that's because they are a warm lead. It's not me just calling around and saying, hey, do you want to have lunch? It is, they have faith in you. They have a relationship with you. All I'm there at that point is to tell them what KW has to offer. Okay, and it's an easy transition. I have a new agent who's taking a course. You guys are all past this, but I'll tell you what he did. You may want, if you're bringing in a new agent, teach this to the new agent because he will be on your line. I have a new agent who is taking the course now. He has 10 recruits from the course. Now, you want to hear something really funny? 5 of them passed the exam. The other 5 didn't. They didn't come to Wednesday nights. Chad was patting himself on the back on that one. It's like, those 5 aren't going to make it. And they didn't. But he will have, before he joins, before he gets his license, he's going to have 10 recruits on his tree. What do you think? Would you like that?
Incredible.
Yeah. So a goal that I am setting for every agent is to get to the point where you have $23,000 of profit share. Why is that number important?
Covers your commission, your cap.
Yeah, it covers your cap and your royalty, which means you work for KW for free. So when someone says, how much do you pay your company? Nothing. It costs me nothing to be at KW because I give them 23, they give me 23. After that, we're paying you to work for us, right? And it's retirement savings. Because as soon as you get to 7 years, Holly, you're already there. Joanne, you're close. You're going to be there soon. 7 years is not a long time, especially when I sit here and say I've been here in real estate for 30. You're vested. The money is going with you into retirement. It has shown our company during COVID how wonderful profit share can be. Do you know there are 32 different regions and we are Canada. Not one other region other than Canada did not have an agent who died of COVID. What do you think profit share has done for their families? They're gone very unexpectedly, but their profit share goes to their beneficiaries. Right? Yep. So it's saving lives, basically. Like when you have a business like real estate and something happens to you, it's fantastic to have that there. Okay? So think really big. And if anyone wants to share these goals, because saying it out loud, just make an appointment with me. Okay, just text me and I'll send you my calendar and we can sit and go over your goals and we can move you forward to reach those. But do not be surprised if I say double it, okay? Because I know what you guys are all like in this room and you guys can do extremely well. Okay. One thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need to turn that, a need that in turn gives you focus. Anyone have a comment about that? Is it basically what we just talked about? And KW actually can give it to you. Okay. Any other comments?
I like that most of the whys, because I've been in sessions where we talk about the why, and most of the whys are outside of real estate.
Well, I would say 95% of whys are outside of real estate.
Yeah. Which is tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some people are definitely gonna work or do real estate because they just love real estate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's more time with family, it's travel, it's giving back, it's so
Exactly.
much more.
Exactly. And that's how you achieve your whys. You make it the most important thing to you. And that's why all whys are very different, okay? And you said something that's right. Everybody that does extremely well in real estate loves real estate. Are you the type of person that has to go, you drove past a really cool house and you go home and you check it out online? Okay, that means you love real estate. So from this point on, just keep that in your head. You're doing what you love. It doesn't have to be a job any day, okay? Enjoy real estate. Because I know everyone gets into it because they did enjoy real estate. Okay. If you want extraordinary results, you have to think big. Okay?
Just
Being
have to leave for a couple of minutes, Laura. I'm just letting you know in case you call on me and I'm mute.
No problem. Okay, your why, this is what you're doing because you are after big results, okay? And you can think big. Your why is what you get up for every day. Every day. And I would suggest making a why board. I had a coach that once told me to make a graphic, and it was my why. And then it was the actual screensaver on my computer. So every time I opened my computer, my why popped up. I've known people that do the same thing, and it's their screen on their phone. As soon as they open their phone, they see their whys. Okay, mine was hilarious because I didn't want people to have like my list of whys. Mine had a beach with 10 chairs that you only see in the back of it looking out on the water. But that was one of my big whys, is vacationing with my family. Okay. The other one is debt-free. And oh, that feels so good. And if you think, like a lot of people run with debt, including your mortgages. Okay. One of the big whys that I've seen a lot of the big KW people is we're living debt-free. And we, as a family with 4 kids, that was always a struggle for us. We are living debt-free. No car payments, no, well, we still have a mortgage, but that should take another 2 years, which, if you think about what I said, 5-year plan, you can reach it. We have 2 more years. But boy, it's nice not paying interest on cards ever, okay? We run our office exactly that way. KEW teaches our agents to do that. We have 0 debt, okay? Even we had to get permission from head office. Do you remember when you could take that debt, interest-free loan from the government?
Oh, yeah.
So we were thinking, okay, we'll take this loan. We're not allowed to take a loan, so we had to get permission because there's no interest on it, and we were going to just pay it back, but it was in the investments for the year that it was able to be there. So it was a moneymaker. They approved it, but it took them a while because it was like, your government's giving you a money? It's like, yeah, no, we're not the same over here. So, okay. This, the big why, automatically will give you a big life. Okay, because your why gives you everything that you want. And think big. Okay, it's very achievable. And don't think that you are the only one that gets to this point and you felt like it was a struggle. Okay, Chad and I, it was a struggle. Okay, then we changed our thought process, basically is the easiest way to say it. I told you already how much Gary Keller is worth. And just so you know, that's only half because his wife is worth the same. Yep, 700 million. Okay. What do you think he was doing 40 years ago? By the way, it's KW's 40th birthday this year. What do you think he was doing 40 years ago? Struggling, huge time. Had a 15-year-old car. Not that he buys fancy cars now. I've seen his car. It's like, I'm impressed with that. But they were struggling. They had massive debt. They had a company that fell apart. And within the 5 years, he turned his whole life around. Has anyone done anything with Mo Anderson, training or anything like that? And she's the one that's up in, she's culture for KW. Red Day is on her birthday, or to celebrate her birthday. She's very much the culture side of it. She struggled all her life, all her life. She didn't come from much. She had very little. And one of the sessions we were talking about it, and they all have, you know, different ideas of what they want for their big why. She was 80 and she had a dream house in her mind of what she wanted all her life. And she had a really nice house, but she started building her dream house. She said, I've always wanted it and I can do it. And she's hilarious. So anytime, like you can go on to Connect and watch her teach. She is so funny. She's a Southern belle, the big hair, the hair is not as it was. Yeah, when you meet her, everything's yes, darling. They call her the CEO with a velvet mallet. So she does not take any scuff. She tells you exactly the way it is, but she does it so nicely and ends every sentence with, and darling. So she went out and built one of the nicest houses in her area. Her friends thought she was crazy. They're all downsizing. She goes, no, I'm going to build my dream house. And she did. It was a drop in the bucket of what she's worth. She's also one of the courses in Toronto that I went to see her. We all went down because it was supposed to be one of the last trainings she did. She's training in Toronto in the fall. So if you can get there, it's fantastic. But she was talking to us and she said, you know, I'm just, what your why is totally different than what my why is. What your why is going to be completely different than mine. So she said, you know, I watched her daughter or niece go out and she's buying $1,000 purse. She goes, I can go into the shopping center and buy a $51 one that looks exactly the same. And this woman is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And then she kept teaching. And then all of a sudden she said, yeah, so I love Border Patrol in Canada. They are by far the nicest anywhere. Because when I fly in on my plane, they come onto the plane and they're very, very nice. And then she kept talking. And I think everyone was like, did she just say she flew in on her own plane? No one said anything. And finally she puts her hands down and says, does no one catch the fact that I worked my ass off and I have my own private jet? And if anyone has seen the play Come From Away, the pilot that is the pilot in that play, who was the first captain in American Airlines, I think, in the States, is now Mo Anderson's pilot. Private pilot. Okay, and she said, I hate flying. I always sat beside the screaming child. On and on. I get there, I'm tired, I'm pissed off. They lost my luggage. I never lose my luggage. So it's just to show you that was her big why. But a $15,000 purse is not a why for her. So you build your own whys and big life. Okay. Ahas? Any comments? Very quiet. Sorry. Next. Okay. Having a smart business plan. And this is something, anytime you can get into any of our sessions with accounting, or if you need help with this, what we want all of our agents to do is have a business worth having and that is profitable. I can tell you, I know agents who are making $300,000 and $400,000 in other offices, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and they do not have any money in their bank account. Okay, so make the decision to become financially smart. Okay, one of the best ways to do this is have a meeting with Erin. She can go over your business plan. There's little things that you have to do. Remember, as soon as you get that check, that thing that says HST, it ain't yours. Okay, and it's tough because we'll go on vacation and then we'll pay it back. Okay, if you're not good at doing that, leave it with the office. Okay, because I can tell you the CRA are not nice people. And if you think you would be the only person that ever got in trouble as a real estate agent with the CRA, you're dreaming. Okay, have an account if you're doing it yourself that is separate and do not touch it. Okay, the way we shifted our mindset with this was it's in that account. When we do our returns and we have all our tax import credit input
tax credit.
right? That, what she just said. You have money left over. It's a gift from the government. Go on vacation on the government. Okay? You've collected it for them. That's your pay. You got your money tax back. Okay? Having a separate account for your own business stuff. It does not have to be a business account. Don't go out and spend more money on it. But what it was always suggested to us when we got here, which we never did before, have your separate account for your HST, have an account for just business expenses, and have a Visa or MasterCard only for business. Okay, a lot of people do that because they want the points, right? Why is this important, do you think?
Auditing.
Right, when that lovely government comes and wants to audit your books, because they do hate real estate agents because we're really bad at our taxes. They cannot ask you for anything else except for that bank account and that Visa card statement. If it's all over all of your different banking, you have to give them everything. Okay, so get it down, and you can do this today. You probably have 2 accounts. Say that one's only for business, this one's only for personal. Okay, so much easier to do your accounting too. You just pass, well, you could do your own bookkeeping. Personally, if everybody should have an account. Anyone that does their own taxes, I guarantee you're getting audited. In 30 years I've been in real estate, 2 years where I made next to no money because I was taking care of my father. We got audited. And basically when we found our new accountant, our accountant was an auditor, and he said, you were just flagged because your income went from here to here. And they disallowed my cell phone, which, okay, how many years am I going to argue with them? My cell phone was still on my signs. Oh, but you weren't working. Chad had our sign up. It has my phone number on it, right? I should be able to deduct it, but when they set their mind at something, but we had to, at that point, give them my Visa, Chad's Visa, my MasterCard, and 3 bank accounts because we had different things coming out of different places. Okay, just make it easy on yourself. Have that smart business. Okay, so you probably went over this in a few of the courses, so we'll just go over it quickly. Lead generate, capture, and convert appointments. Appointments are money. You can actually just figure out by what you want to do, what is your big why, your conversion rate. If I go on a listing appointment, I have to go on 3 of them to get 1 listing. For the money you want to make, you have to go on, you want to have 10 listings this year, which means what? Simple math, 30 listing appointments, okay? There's ways of increasing that. If you can get your conversion rate down to 1 and 2 or 1 and 1.5, then you don't have to go on as many to make that amount of money, right? Present to buyers and sellers and get agreements, okay? The most frustrating thing in this business is when you have a buyer or a seller who is not in culture, okay? You're going to say, oh, it's a friend. I don't need to get him to sign that piece of paper, that BDBA. How's your friendship doing when he goes out and buys a private sale all by himself? Or goes to another agent's open house and buys the house? Okay, that friend's not going to be in your good books, okay? Put it down in writing and explain to them why you do it. You do it all the time, and you don't work with people that aren't going to respect your position and you as a real estate agent. Show buyers and market sellers.
Putting
right?
aside the fact that it's a mandatory contract?
It is, but I can guarantee you, like, we can see that people are signing that BDBA right before they're writing the offer. But you could have been showing them 40 houses, not last year, I get that. But you could have been working for a year with these people. And those are the people that are really going to kick you if something goes sideways and they go out and buy from someone else, right? I always showed a couple of houses, but after a few, I sat down with them and went over the whole buying process and said, you know, in order for me to do this, I'm going to make this huge commitment to you. You make the same commitment to me. And then there's no issues, right? They're paying you, even if they bought from another agent. Okay, write and negotiate contracts. That's your money makers, okay? Your whole business is based on that. You can't get to that without doing 1, 2, and 3 or ABC, okay? Coordinate the sale to closing. Get good at doing a professional business. Okay, and then manage the money. Get to the point where your money is working for you. Every penny that you make should be making you more money. Okay? And one of the best places is in real estate. My kids have figured this out completely because we have our 2 free deals before Chad caps. But once he caps, we've made an agreement with our kids that we give our kids our commission. And we're able to, we would never be able to do this in another company. After he caps, we can give them 100% of our commission. Our kids all have investments, every one of them, and they're doing extremely well with them. We bought the little guy a house without him knowing. He can buy it from us at 2-year-ago prices when he has a job and can do it, just because it's getting harder and harder for those younger kids to get into a house. Okay. But I know what one of my kids are thinking as soon as I hear, has Dad capped yet? You know, this part of our business doesn't. My son just bought a house in Armdale, and I think Chad said he got $27,000 into his equity. So that's nice. Okay. Where is all your commissions going? Keep track of it. Know what you're doing with your money. Okay. Keep a budget. One of the best things to do right now is go through last month's bank statements and your Visa. Anything that you don't need, because right now we're shifting a little bit, that's the perfect time to get rid of it. There's going to be probably some stuff on there that you have no idea what it is, but you're paying every month for it. Okay, I did this. I almost canceled it. Then I thought I better do more research. I'm not sure why this is coming off my Visa. And it was a tutoring program that my son uses in university. And I thought, oh, that was probably a smart move trying to figure it out. But we figured out that we ended up having 2 Netflix accounts. So it was like, Chad, you're paying for Netflix over there? Yeah, I'm paying for it over here. So they were nice though. They were good. They gave us almost 5 months back. The other agent gets half of your money. Okay, build that relationship with that agent. Okay, in this industry, we have to strengthen the whole industry. Has anyone gotten an offer from another company that scared the death out of you?
You mean
A newer agent or even an experienced?
an offer on your listing?
Yeah. Or you wrote an offer on one of their listings and you got a counter back that you had to change everything in it because it was done.
Right. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is where, well, was anyone at other companies before? No, everyone is only KW here. Some days I really like to send our agents out and see what it's like at some other companies. It's scary, guys. And we have so much support just use it. And your business will go so much more smooth.
Honestly, seeing some of the offers that come in,
Scary.
you can already see that it's scary at other brokerages. Or if I'm in a conversation and an agent says, well, what's your client's limit? Like, what are they willing to take? Because then I'll write up whatever that deal is and send it. I'm like, I really appreciate that you're working hard for your client to find out what would be the minimum of what they'd have to offer on this property. However, I'm not in a position to do that. I can only accept written offers that I can present to my clients, but thank you so much. And I'm like, oh, got it, that
Yep.
these are the conversations that are happening, or they feel like it's okay.
Yep.
Or we're not breaking any sort of fiduciary duties by doing that. I'm like, oh my gosh. And
And they
it's-
tried. I have said, how much do you your person, what are they looking for? And unfortunately, not unfortunately for my clients,
Right,
but you'd be shocked to see how many people told us. And it
right.
was like, thank you. And off I go. I'm working for my client. I asked the question, they answered it. Don't answer that question.
Don't ever answer.
No. So you're there working for your client. Okay. We got an offer, and this was one of those shake your head ones. It had no purchase price written in.
Oh, just put in whatever you want.
Wow,
You
being
got it.
nice.
Put in what the clients are looking for, or $1 more than your best offer.
No.
Yeah.
They wrote a blank check.
And now are you happy we have our 7 brokers? Anybody? Okay, scary, really scary. Okay, does everyone know what happens with your commission when it gets to the office? Okay, and this goes into profit share a little bit. So let's say you're still paying your cap. Most people are around the 70-30. So 30% goes to the office. We pay all of our expenses, all of our staff, all of our brokers, all through company dollar. Okay, so we have our income, which is 97%. We have some other incomes that come in, but 97% is commissions or company dollar from our agents. We pay our expenses. We are so careful about the money we're spending, and we take very good care of making sure that the company is run properly. Okay, why? Because you're all stakeholders. So below that line is profit. How many people here have worked for a company that you know exactly how much profit the owner made?
0.
0.
And I worked at a co-op and I should have known.
Yeah.
And I was the top senior staff, but still didn't know.
Exactly. I've been in the business 30 years. I could not tell you how much my other companies were making, to the point where we met them. We were the first ones in the office. The owner was unlocking the door, and he says, oh, fantastic, the door's unlocked. And I looked at him like, is there a possibility it wouldn't be? And then we panicked because we had about $60,000 in pendings. And I thought, maybe we should talk to a lawyer and find out what happens to our pendings if this shuts down and goes bankrupt. Does anyone know what happens to your pendings when that happens? You're in line with the rest of the creditors because the money goes to the trustee. Okay, so how nice is it when you know that we gave back $817,000 and that was 48% of the profit? I think KW is going to be okay with keeping their doors open. It is one of the best KW offices run in Canada. We have had 1 month that we broke even. Every other month we've been profitable, which means, and there's no fudging this, because you have to pay every debt that you have by the end of the month or by transmittal. Transmittal, we actually send all of this to head office, and in order to keep our franchising agreement in place, we have to be profitable. Okay, that doesn't happen in any other world. It's impressive to watch. Okay, if they're not profitable, they'll find someone else to take over that office. Okay, that's not us at all. It's very nice sitting at the Canadian things with all the big Toronto people that have 500 in their offices, and we beat them in profit share. So we're doing well. Business expenses, keep good records, because the only thing you're doing is losing money if you don't keep good business expenses. When usually we do it in the fall, and then at the beginning, I think we had one in,
Business planning?
yeah,
Yes, January, February.
yeah, that, and we bring in accountants who can help you set that up for yourself and make sure that you're taking advantage of every business expense. That's why an accountant is really good. Okay. Taxes, I've said it all. Be very careful. That's all I'm saying. If you're not good, we have a really good service that you just leave the money with the company. Okay, it's in the account, only slate it for you. If you want to laugh, I did my taxes and because I'm not selling anymore, so I'm not making the income. Every so often I see a couple pop through my name, but that would be income sharing more than anything else. But after 3 or 4 years, I talked to Erin, and Erin says, "Do you want your taxes, by the way?" I have money. Yes. So my money was still sitting here, and I had just paid my taxes. So it's a nice feature. Plus, you can go on vacation with what the government doesn't want. Okay. Your take home. Okay. Make sure you're making your take home pay work for you. Okay. Figure out how much goes into the bank and see what is making money for you. You have fixed expenses you can't change. You can always go through them and see if you can improve them, but they are fixed. Your insurance, your mortgage, all that different stuff. Look at the other stuff and see if it's making money for you. Okay. One of the things when I say making money, I'm a shopper. I would say some people in here are probably shoppers. If not, you're at least feeding yourself or your family. I had a coach once that was fantastic. You know how to make that money that you're spending work for you? Everybody that you give money, cash, Visa, or your debit card to, make sure they have your card. You are their client, they can be your client. Okay? Have that conversation. Leave the cards right beside your Visa card to make sure that that person you paid knows that you're a real estate agent. That's how you make your money work for you. Even if it's Shoppers Drug Mart and it was the girl that was helping you at the cash. Okay, financially sound or unsound. You probably did this with one of the other sessions, so I'll skip over that. Okay, money. For some people, it's like a taboo experience, basically. My daughter she doesn't want anyone to know she's a doctor. She drives a very regular car. For her, it's like money doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter, but money is good for what it can do. It can give you peace of mind if you have no debt. Are you worried about your finances? No. Think about things you get stressed about and figure out how to de-stress. You may be stressed about your payments every month. Sell 2 more houses and you'll never be stressed about paying your bills again. Okay. The flow of money. So you have income, that's what's coming in. You have your expenses, that's what's going out, and then you have your profit. In KW, the profit goes to the owners and then they give back 48%. You are stakeholders in this company. So you have access to all of the financials, okay? This is the exact same graph for your business. So you have your income, you have your expenses, control them and make sure you know what they are. And then you have your profit that's left over. Make your profit work for you, okay? Whether it's investments, buying investment properties, whatever it is that you like, just make sure it's working for you, okay? Your goal is your profit. It comes down to how many homes do you have to sell to hit that goal? Is that a money? Is that a number, that goal at the top? Okay, but your goal is based on your why, right? And then how do you bring your expenses into that fold and always control your expenses, okay? Okay, so you have cost of sale and operating expenses. Okay, operating expenses, the best way to explain this is your operating expenses are expenses that you have every month, whether you sell that house or not. Your licensing, your board fees, your monthly bill, that's expenses, okay? Those expenses are there whether you sell or not. Cost of sale are taken, or royalty fees are only taken from a deal. Okay, so these ones are not changeable. That side is where you get to make your decisions. Okay, so we're shifting. That side has to be very tight right now because the market is not. We keep saying this, we're shifting, but I just seen the report that came out and Nova Scotia went up 3%. How have we shifted? We have no listings. You want to make lots of money? List, because the houses are still selling really quickly. Okay? Next, best practices. That's in your book. Read it over after. Gain clarity on your why. Understand your life, your business. Okay? Hire an accountant. Whenever you can, hire that person. The best person to ask about this is we had an accountant, wasn't great. We found a fantastic accountant and she scares Chad to death. It's like, are you sure that's all I owe? And it's kind of like, yes. So if the government calls, tell them to call me, Chad. They're not going to call. And you know what? We've had her for 20 years since that audit I talked about. And we've never even had a question. Okay, because she knows exactly what she's doing. Scary sometimes. Chad's like, did you think we only owed that? Yes, I did actually. Okay, think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Average is average. Good is as good as it gets, or good does, and great is great does. What you do is who you become. Okay? Be that consistent person and your business is going to be consistent. Be that strong agent and you're going to have a strong business. Okay? Does anyone else get something else from that? Have any ahas with that?
There's something I'll add to it, because as you're talking through that quote, my brain is saying, be patient. Okay, yes, always, and great is what great does, but do great from the jump, understanding that the rewards from doing the great, it's a long runway. You have to just keep doing it. Don't forget to keep doing it. You're going to get discouraged, still do it. You're going to feel like you made the worst decision of your life in real estate, keep doing it. And then suddenly you're like, oh, okay. And I say it's sudden, but you're halfway through something really good and you're like, wait a second, where did this come from? How did I get this business? What was I doing? It was the consistency that really did it, because I had, and I'll call it my come to Jesus moment, I think it was after my first year, that first quarter of the second year, I can remember going into the bedroom at night, like just almost bleeding into my computer, trying to lead generate and get out to networking and just feeling like I was getting nowhere. And my husband looked at me and he's like, we're okay.
Yeah.
All our bills are covered. We're okay. And I'm like, but I thought I'd be here. Like I thought I put that hard work in for the year. And he's like, just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to happen. And I had no money in the first quarter and I capped last year anyway. I ended my second year capping. And I was like, what?
Okay, so you weren't here for the first part when I said every year in February, Chad wants to quit.
Okay, so there you go. For me, it was March, but yes,
Yes.
I get the idea of this.
Okay, and I just sit there going, can we please just go on vacation in February so you can stop panicking? I tried it. We got there, it was like, I don't know if we should be doing this. Do you know that I only have 3 closings still pending?
Well,
It's February.
Here's the difference for me now, though. So this is me going forward. I kept working my tail off, just kept grinding it out, kept doing what I was doing. When I came into the fall of last year in CAPT, suddenly December, January, I'm still working, I'm still busy, I still have things going on. And now
Why?
here, because I just kept going. I just kept filling my funnel and I say filling my funnel, I mean grinding it out, getting to the networking, making those connections, having meaningful real estate conversations. And I know that it was because of everything that I did, and I'll say this with the support of the Market Center, because every single training I can get to, I'm in. Doesn't matter what it is. Bold came out, I literally was down to my last pennies for money I'd set aside for the business. And I was like, I'm putting that money into Bold because there's something I'm missing. And there was. I thought I was working really hard, and I was.
You
But I
worked
wasn't
hard, but
working
not smart.
Correct. I wasn't doing it on the right things. And Bold made me do it on the right things along with everything else. So it was like learning to sprint in the middle of a marathon.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay, get it now.
Yeah.
And then that's what kept me going. So yeah, great is as great does, but you got to do great long before you ever see the results of it.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's-
and we talk, like, you are the newest. But a lot of people are already in it, and they're could be on that roller coaster too, and that consistency is what gets you off that. The one thing I will ask, and it's putting complete faith in what I'm going to say, okay? If you work hard, you do what you need to do, and you do it consistently, you will be successful. Okay? So when you feel like, oh, I'm working so hard and I'm just not getting there, the results are coming. I guarantee that. Just make sure you're doing those A, B, Cs, and I can tell you X, Y, C is going to be fantastic. And really get good at your ABCs. Get into training, go to seminars, read all kinds of books that you can that's going to take your business to the next level and create the business that works for you. Okay? I was told I had a door knocking coach. How stupid is that? When I look back, she was a life coach, which she was fabulous with me and I stayed with her. But she door knocks. I can't door knock to save my life. My kids would starve if I had to do this business only by door knocking. I naturally turned my business exactly the way KW tells you to do it. They tell you, find 3 good lead gens that you like to do, and you do them, and you will be successful. Okay, you just have to massage that and figure out what it is. And I'm not saying things don't change. Like my coach said, I want you to door knock. I tried it. I literally knocked on one door, and then I would go to doors that didn't have any cars in the driveway and pray that no one was going to answer that door. And she had the weirdest script. It was, hi, I'm Laura Lee from Keller Williams. It was a different company at the time. And when are you planning on moving? I thought if someone came to my door and asked that, thank you, shut the door. So it just wasn't something. There are agents out there that have that script and literally are doing like they're tops of the companies because that works for them. It doesn't work for me, but I figured out a way that did work for me. So, and Chad just laughed because one of my clients is selling. And he said, so you want to work on next week? And I said, why? And he goes, how's about running your VIP open houses? And I said, well, if it's on a Friday night, I'm not working, I can go down and help you. So I was sort of thinking you'd go, because he hates open houses. Open houses with him, it doesn't work. It makes no sense for him to do an open house because he walks out of the driveway like this, and I guarantee you, he's probably no one walks in that house when he's there. It's just, it's taking away from his family time. Everyone else is on the dock, and he's sitting in an open house with people coming through that may not even want to buy a house or whatever. She asked me, she says, you figure out how you can do a knock on doors with it fitting your comfort level, which is what we're telling everybody. Figure out what you're good at, right? I walked in each direction. I made a really fancy, which pisses Chad off completely, a really nice invitation took me most of the week to do. And then I walked 50 doors. I invited them before the house was listed to a VIP open house and said, your neighbor is selling it. Would you like to come down on Friday night? I have an invitation only, and bring anybody that wants to get into this beautiful neighborhood. I met almost everybody in the neighborhood. We had over 50 people come through the open house. Some were families, obviously. But the biggest thing we got out of that was I knew door knocking worked because I got 3 listings because of that, because I was the agent down the street that they're thinking of selling, and look what that agent did. She walked and invited us to an open house. So it's just showing your value to other people. So figure out what your value is and put it into action with something that works for you. Good? Okay. Okay, this, come into one of the programs that we're doing, GCIs and all that, and it'll show you how much you should be spending on business expenses and total commission and stuff like that. Just learn this. And anytime you see a financial course, come in and try to take it. Okay, getting paid on close. Use command, guys. This is everything I'm telling you to do. It is controlling 100% of every aspect of your business. You can open command and see what you're doing in a nanosecond, okay? Everything that is done there, people were doing before, but it took them hours and days and everything to get all their stats and figure out where they're going for the rest of the year. It will even estimate what your income is going to be for the rest of the year. Isn't that helpful? Okay, can I go away in March? Okay, yeah, this is telling me I can. I'm doing well. Any ahas with that stuff? With financials? Does anyone have any questions? I've sat in on Erin. She goes over this beautifully to help you set up your business. Okay, so just make an appointment with her. Today's agenda we don't need to go over. Okay. This is your success plan. I have seen hundreds of different things like these. I have a sheet and I will photocopy it and leave some on that shelf over there. And basically what it is all of the different ways you can lead gen. You put down what you want to do for the week, and then you actually put in the actual of what you did for the week. Okay? This was a sheet that same coach actually gave me. And it worked fantastic for me because when I didn't do what I needed to be doing, she, at the bottom where it said agreements and closing, she would put big X's 3 months after where I did nothing. And sure enough, I'd be saying, oh God, it's a bad month. I don't have a lot of closings. So this way you can track exactly what you're doing. So I'll photocopy it and just leave it there. It's not a KW thing. It's just something I used. But it's almost the exact same thing as this. So for daily success, how are you contacting people? How are you building relationships? Every day you have to start new relationships. And that's what lead gen is, okay? Keeps your mindset focused. So if you open command and you see you're doing well, it's going to help with your mindset. If you're not doing well, you already know you're doing something that you're not doing something you need to be doing. So it's off the table. You don't have to worry about what's happening. You know what's happening. I'm not doing this, so I don't have this. And you put the new plan into action. So your mindset is better, okay? Every day, like I said, figure out how you can remind yourself of why you're doing all of this. It's not because you like coming into an office. It's not like because you want to be out showing houses. It's because of your big why, okay? And make that, if, you know, for me, it worked really well. As soon as I opened my computer, my why showed up. Okay, so every time I was on my computer, it reminded me why I was doing everything. Challenges you and makes you uncomfortable at times. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay, we use that as an excuse. Once you do it, you're going to say, I have no idea why I was worried about doing that. okay? I haven't taught in a long time, and last night Chad's fishing, so it wasn't turn off the light and go to bed. But I read through the stuff constantly because it's been so long since I did it. And I was sort of thinking, oh, well, if no one shows up, that's okay, because 2 weeks ago, no one showed up. And I was nervous about it, okay? But once you get back into it, you just do it, and you'll see it's not as bad. No one ever died from lead gen, nobody, ever, okay? Is one of our, accountability is one of the 6 perspectives. 6 perspectives, I do believe, is coming out in June. If it's not June, it's probably September, because I don't think they do it in the summer. Melissa teaches this extremely well, and it's putting your business practices in line, okay? So it's worth taking that course for sure. Types of accountability. Who is more accountable or does better work when you're doing it for someone else? Okay, we suck at being accountable to ourselves. To be honest with you, when I was doing real estate, like Chad has said numerous times, oh my God, if you worked as hard for our team as you work for that office, why am I doing that? Because I'm being paid to do it for someone else. So I am accountable to that person. So if you are like me and you're not great at making yourself accountable, find an accountability partner, okay? Have another person it could be a team lead, it could be someone in the office. If you want to be accountable with me, make an appointment and we'll go over your goals and I can figure out, a system that you could send me what you're doing, okay? It's easier to be accountable when someone else is looking for it. Productivity coaches are fantastic. Why do people's businesses go up with the coaching? I'm not even sure if it's how well the coaches work. I think it's that you're accountable to that person. Okay, and you do it. Everyone's capable of doing it, but it's easy not to do it when it's only you that's going to suffer because of it. Okay, mentors, productivity coaching, or a maths coach, obviously. Tools. One of the things I really liked is the 411s. And basically that's just taking your priorities, figuring out how you're going to do it 4 weeks, 1 week, 1 day, and figure out every day what you're going to do. Time blocking, okay? What is the first thing you put in on your schedule? What's important to you? Could be family, could be your kids, could be something. Put them in first. Family, then business. First thing, you are so right. Everybody can do this business and do extremely well at it if you learn to lead gen efficiently and consistently, okay? Put it into your calendar and stick to it, okay? Your day will go much, much smoother when you have a plan. The one thing, one of the books that I would grab, and I think there's one in the library right now. If there's not, we do have a library around the corner here. And what I say is agents are great at buying books and they sit in the drawer for years. Bring it out, put it on the shelf so we don't have to keep buying them. Just grab a book. One of the best for this type of accountability is The One Thing. And I think there's one there. If there isn't one, I'll put mine there if anyone wants to buy to read it. Okay, learning based. You should never stop learning. And KW is absolutely fabulous for this. It can take you from getting your business started to a point where you have a team in 50 different countries. We have everything available. Get into it. If you're maybe busy, get in and watch the recordings. We have recordings on our site. We have recordings on KW Can, which is the Canadian region site. And then we have Connect. So there is training, even if you can't get into the training, and you can always get training for free. Okay, there's some big courses. But a lot of those are even on YouTube. So, do whatever you can to take your business to the next level. Attending events, you want synergy, you know what it's like after you do a course, it's like, I'm going to do this. And then you go home and you don't have that synergy kind of dies off. That's why I think it's really important to get into the office. After COVID, it has really slowed down the synergy in the office. More people getting in, like we're seeing it. A lot of people make comments about our monthly meeting. We had 80 people, 50 some odd that were here, and the rest were online. But the synergy in our room after was incredible. Okay? I think even the people online felt it. And even the outskirted areas now are going together and watching it from outside, which is nice. Okay, read whenever you can. Millionaire Real Estate Agent should be read every year. Okay, and why? Because every year you're at a different spot of your business, and every year you'll get something different out of the MREA. Do you have an MREA? Okay. And the one thing, Shift and the one thing. Okay, Shift was actually written for the 2008 recession in the States. So it's great. We're not suffering the way they had suffered. However, we do have those things. It's still hard to get listings. There were 526 listings, and normally we run within between 3,500 and 4,000 in our board. It's down. Work on the listings. The Shift books figures says, where is the issue? Work the issue. So like in the States, my God, in 2008, we drove through, what was it? The steel town. Anyway, I had never seen anything like it. Every second house was boarded up. KW, after the last 2008 recession, came out stronger than they went in because of Shift. And why is that, do you think? They figured out the niche. People are buying and selling houses. They may be foreclosures, but they're selling. People are making money. So what did they do with the Shift in that time? They taught every KW agent how to work foreclosures, how to work short sales, and how to find investors that want to buy those foreclosures. So the deals are being done. You just have to shift your mindset and move into where the hole is. Right now, our hole is listings. Okay, this is the lowest inventory we've had in years. I don't even remember ever seeing it this low. But that's fantastic. There are a ton of buyers still out there too, by the way. There was a listing that had 70 offers. That means there's 69 off agents still working with buyers out there. Maybe, again, as much as you can get into training. Plan for learning. So put that, your learning in your courses and everything. I personally think you want to do something different with your business next year, go to Family Reunion. They know statistically, people who attend Family Reunion are doing better the following year. Okay, they have stats on everything. The same as the 201 Club. People that have those people in the database that you're contacting are like 67% higher in their average income. So get those people into your database and talk to them. Mission, to build careers worth having. This is hard work, guys. No one ever says it's easy, but build it and create a big world and fix your whys. Have your whys. Businesses worth owning. Why do we want a business worth owning? So when you are retiring, you have something to sell, okay? All that work can move on to the next person that wants to benefit from all of your work. It could be family, it could be just someone buying your database. It could be someone on your team that's going to buy into your company, whatever it is, okay? Life's worth living. You want to get up every morning and say, I love my life, okay? Fix the things that you're not loving. And like I said, most of them come with go out, keep consistent, and have those 10 pending deals. Experience is worth giving. Okay? This gives you the opportunity to build something that you can help other people build. We watch our teams. This is the only company I can guarantee you that have people on teams who are in the Market Center's top 20. Because our teams know how to build teams. Okay? And that's all through education. And legacy is worth leaving. That's a given. Everybody wants to leave something good for their family. Okay? And this is something, profit share is huge for this, because don't forget, profit share will grow all by itself. So even after you're gone, your great grandchildren can be profiting from the work you put into your profit share now. Okay? Get real about your situation and get right about what you're doing. Bring a greater sense of clarity, priority, and focus to your work. Okay? Control your own business. Work your own business. Create a big world for yourself. Anyone have a comment about that one?
I'll honestly, I've seen this quote before, and I think this is the one that made me think about, I'm working really hard right now. Why don't I feel like I'm getting ahead? And then I realize I'm not doing the right things. And then I get into bold and I'm like,
Maybe I should do this too.
So that was, again, about bring the greater sense of clarity, priority, and focus to your work. I was like, okay, so I was working very, very hard,
Yeah.
but I needed to do with this phrase.
You
this
always
quote.
have to manage your business and figure out what's working and what isn't working. You can be working to keep yourself busy, but that being busy is not important. Working well is important, and doing the right things is important.
And sometimes you don't understand the difference.
No.
You don't know what working well and just working a lot is.
Exactly.
I can work a lot. I got all kinds of work.
A lot of agents are good at working. If they're busy trying to be busy. You have to be busy and effective, period. And it's a lot less time to be effective than to busy working on being busy. Okay, I can make myself busy every day, every week. I've learned I am not a person to sit on a video. I have all kinds of agents that say, oh no, I'm really good online. Does your wash get done? Do you have any calls to return after the session? No, because you answered the phone or you took that text. It's all there. And I'm 5 minutes late and I apologize for that. Anyone that has a question and wants to have that sit down meeting, just get my calendar and put yourself in. I'm always there for an appointment. I am awake.
Was training?
It's fantastic training, mind you. The last time we were there, we lived through a tornado. Yeah, we're going to Austin. It's fun. It is. Well, we're not actually right in Austin. We're at a place called Kalahari. It's a big resort with a name. Water park. Yeah, we walked in the last time and it was the first time after COVID. A little nervous. Jess and I went and we took the Uber. Like we had to wear a mask on the plane, which I felt comfortable. Then we got in the Uber and we had to wear masks. He had a mask on. I'm thinking, fantastic. We get to this resort. We walked in and there must have been 3,000 people in the lobby. All of the cheerleaders from around the world. It was the World Cheerleading Conference or something. So yeah, I've never seen so many diamonds and the pearls. Not one person with a mask. And we walked up to get our room and the girl says, well, I said, no, I'm good. She was wired. I said, okay. And she says, are you sick? My person said, perfect. Just apologize. I'll be there in a minute. Yeah. And Jess and I just looked at each other like, we're not, the girl said, the only people that wear masks now.
So we're going to the no pee into the pool.
Yeah, everyone's looking at us like, oh my God, oh Jesus. And you're wearing it for other people and they don't care. So why bother? Oh, I don't think he's there. David, are you still there?
Yep, still here.
Oh, right. So we're going to sign off. I have another appointment, but if you have any questions or you want to have a meeting, drop me a text, okay?
Great, thanks. Appreciate it. That was good.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, take care. See you later.
Okay, well, thanks for
I'm
coming
Sherry.
in.
Sue, nice to meet you, Sue.
This is Sherry's sister.
Sherry.
Oh, I was like, Sher, I'm Sher, what are you talking about? It's not my sister.